On the morning of June 10th, 2020, Wanda Palmer was found in her yard in a puddle of blood. Authorities were called. They thought she was dead. She turned out to be alive, but badly injured. It looked as though perhaps she had been attacked by a hatchet or a machete. Wanda lay in a coma for 2 years before waking up just a few weeks ago, and miraculously was able to name her attacker. You won't believe who it was. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the True Crime Squad. This is Katie Weaver. I'm here with my sister, co-host, and partner in crime, Kristi Brower. Hello.
Hello. Hey, everybody.
How's it going?
It's going pretty well. Had a whirlwind vacation. No,
It feels
weekend
like it.
of a lot of fun stuff. Some really fun stuff. But
I
I
know.
am tired. I can tell it was a whirlwind weekend.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm about worn out, but it's true. We've had all kinds of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you guys, if you have not seen Where the Crawdads Sing,
Oh,
go right this minute and go watch
yes.
it.
It is so good. So good.
I'm still in shock, to be honest. Still. It's been more than 24 hours. I'm still
No
in shock.
spoiler alerts.
No, but so good. So
Yeah.
good.
So,
So
yeah,
this is our
really
Monday
enjoyed it.
And
Yes, ma'am.
so this is us kicking off the week with a few new cases here. There's all kinds of stuff going on in the crime world right now. I had a
Mm-hmm.
hard time choosing. I almost felt like I wanted to do, like, 6 segments for this show of short things because there's a lot of things happening, but you
Mm-hmm.
know, I digress. Here we are. So that we'll be back tomorrow with more,
Right.
as per always. Yeah. But before our main case, Kristi, I'm going to kick the mic over to you for some WTF news.
Yes. Well, WTF, West Virginia. And I'm sure that's been said many times and will continue to be said many times.
Hmm.
However, in this instance, it is because Circuit Judge David W. Hummel Jr. pointed a gun at a defense attorney in
Whoa.
court in March of 2022. This,
Ooh.
right?
I don't even
Ugh,
think that ever happened to Mark Means.
right? So during this trial going on in West Virginia in March, the judge pulls out a gun, scans the room with it, and points it directly at the defense team.
Ooh.
Then he lays it down on the bench and he rotates the barrel so it's still pointing at the defense attorneys.
What the hell?
Right? Like, that's not very subtle.
Oh, no.
So what happened is that the defense team had filed a motion to disqualify the judge because
Oh.
of some conflict of interest. Somehow there's something to do with his family that makes this case, they think, a conflict of interest for him to preside over.
Seems
So
like
that
maybe that's
motion,
true.
yeah. But that motion was denied.
Oh, gosh.
So, um, yeah, after the first time they were in court, after that whole thing went down, um, he looked her right in the eye and said, "Nice try." And yeah,
Oh.
so apparently, the judge was wearing a gun during the pretrial conference.
Mhm.
His robe was unzipped, and you could see that he was wearing a holstered gun then, which I
Oh,
guess is his
boy.
right or whatever. But
Is it in their
he,
courthouse? I guess it depends on the laws of their state, but
I guess, seems kind of creepy to me. Um,
yeah.
so at one point during opening statements, He interrupted her, dismissed the jury, and then berated her. She said he screamed, I'm a despicable person, and used profanity, which I've never heard anyone in court cuss, to be honest. I was in total shock, and it proceeded for the rest of the week. It was torture, and every day you never knew what was going to set him off.
Holy shit.
So then on March 12th, of course, before that, she decided to bring security with them to court because that seemed,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
like a good plan. And a court officer turned their security away, would not allow them in. And the judge. So here's what the judge says about the security guy that they wouldn't let in the room. I got this man here carrying a man purse, which I make fun of him every damn day for wearing such a sissy ass contraption. And I
What?
and and I hear he has blood coagulant. I have coagulant up here too, and I've got lots of guns, like bigger ones too.
Oh my.
I mean,
What?
somebody needs to take a look at this judge because things are not good.
Yes.
So then the actual pointing of the gun things happens, the gun thing. And so finally, this defense attorney, Ms. Varnado, did report him.
Mm-hmm.
And
Seems like a wise
there's,
idea.
yes, although there is an investigation going on, the judge is not allowed to comment at this time. Wise. There may be an investigation going on into him, but at this point, he is still listed as a judge in their county. So,
I mean, how could
yikes.
anyone, at least that this attorney was defending, get a fair case in his court? They
Well,
couldn't.
couldn't at all. Also, what the hell?
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Whew.
scary, very scary. Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
defense attorney was literally afraid for her life.
Sounds like she should have been.
Yeah.
That sounds like a
So
pretty unhinged deal.
we're going to keep an eye on this judge because
Yeah.
he needs to go to judge retirement where he goes out on a nice farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's time for sure.
It is because he should not be presiding over anything at this point.
You know.
What the hell does the blood coagulant thing mean?
Ah,
You have thick blood, but my blood is thicker? Is that what it's supposed to mean? It's a
I
real weird thing to say.
I don't know. I'm completely thrown off.
And I may be trying to make sense of the nonsensical, frankly.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've got.
Well, okay then.
So I'm going to turn the time over to you for our main case, which is some true crime breaking news.
It is. This might be a true crime squad first because I can't think of a time when we've covered a case out of West Virginia, though we probably have. But we've got 2 in a row today because
Are you serious? This
my
other one's
case,
from West Virginia? Oh, wow.
when you started talking, I went, "Oh no, did we cover the same case?" We did not. But interesting. Yeah. So, I want to introduce you guys to this lovely lady. This is Wanda Palmer. So, Wanda Palmer lived in West Virginia and was disabled. According to her Facebook page, she lived in Cottageville, West Virginia.
Okay.
Facebook said that she was a country girl, hard worker, disabled due to wreck in 1998.
Oh.
And in 2020, she had posted on her Facebook page that she was looking for someone to help to weed eat the lawn. looking for some help with lawn care. That was on June 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on June 10th, she had some people that showed up to do some work on the lawn. And when they got there, she was lying in a pool of blood,
Oh,
unresponsive.
no.
And she lived in a trailer house that was just up the road from her mother.
Mm-hmm.
So, according to her mom Eileen told the news that they came Wednesday morning to mow her grass and they found her in a pool of blood. They ran up on the hill real fast and told us, and I called the police.
Mm.
So the police came, and mom was really surprised because, she does live next door. She said she didn't hear or see anything. She said, I had my windows open in my home and we never heard one thing.
Hmm.
But here we are. Wanda was terribly injured. In fact, when law enforcement got there, they thought that she was deceased. Uh, but she was not. She had a very faint pulse. So she was taken to the hospital. She was in the ICU for quite a while. She really wasn't expected to live, but she did. Her wounds started to heal, but her brain is badly damaged. Uh, they couldn't find a murder weapon, but they felt like she had been bludgeoned with either a hatchet, perhaps, or a machete, something like that.
Wow.
So eventually she was transferred to a nursing home where she has
Mm-hmm.
been in a coma now for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And one of the suspects was her brother.
Ooh,
Her brother's name is Daniel Palmer.
okay.
I apologize for this picture. I wish I could have found something better. This is literally all I could find anywhere. I have searched for hours, but this is it.
Wow.
So this is Daniel. He was a suspect initially because there's been quite a bit of violence between them in the past,
Mm.
but they had no evidence to tie him to it, except for that a neighbor said that they saw Daniel in the doorway of her trailer the night before.
Mm-hmm.
That was later that someone came forward and said that, and they had no evidence. And of course, he said he hadn't been to her house in days, and it's kind of just where it's at. So this case has just been cold and sitting for the last 2 years while Wanda has been in a coma. Well, a couple of weeks ago, the police got a call. Wanda woke up.
Whoa.
Wanda's severely brain damaged and but coherent enough over the course of a few days for her to be able to be interviewed by the police.
Wow.
She remembered where she lived. Remembered
Mm-hmm.
living in her trailer next to her mom.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, remembered some details. And when asked who did this to her, she told them plainly that it was her brother Daniel.
Holy cow.
And from what I can gather from the articles that I've read, she's literally answering in like one word sentences. She's really, I mean, this is very limited communication, but enough
Mm-hmm.
that they feel like she's coherent on what happened to her anyway. They asked her why Daniel would do something like this to her, and she told them it's because he's mean.
Yikes.
In 2019, she posted on Facebook, "My brother Daniel, why you trespassed on my mobile home and damaged things which you have no right to. For shame on you. God, I give him to you to deal with."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with a meme. And the meme said, "The enemy is not fighting you because you are weak. He's fighting you because you're strong." So there clearly been trouble in the past, and others have said that as well, that there had
Mm-hmm.
been trouble with him in the past. But at any rate, that's what had happened. Well, last week, authorities arrested Daniel
Mm-hmm.
with a pretty great struggle, it sounds like.
Oh.
And so they said he was taken July 15th after being charged with uh, to the South Central Regional Jail. He's
Mm,
55. They said he was
mhm,
uncooperative while in custody and during booking procedures, and they had to call out a magistrate to come and get him arraigned, and then they sent him to the hospital because he was not well.
mhm.
And he was in the hospital less than 24 hours and he died.
Oh my god. Of what?
They're not saying. The authorities are saying that the autopsy results will be released to the family only. Of He was charged, with two counts here for attempted murder and for malicious injury, I believe.
Mhm.
Um, Reading through a lot of comments, this is a hard case. I really wanted to cover it because I think it deserves it. Wanda deserves it, for God's sake.
Absolutely.
But the info is pretty cookie cutter. You can go look up 20 articles, they all say exactly the same thing. So I
Uh-huh.
have done a lot of sleuthing to find a little bit more information. In fact, the pictures that I have of Wanda are ones that I didn't find anywhere else, but was finally able to locate a Facebook page
Wow.
by locating her sister. And anyway, it's been quite the Facebook adventure and sleuthing adventure on this case. But I wanted more info. Very
Right.
little on him. A couple of things that locals have said. Locals are saying that he had a stroke.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
if they know that or not, but that's what they're
Mhm.
saying.
It's the
Lo-
guess maybe.
However, locals are also saying that he was well known to be riding his bike around town up until like the last couple of years. And so he's they thought he seemed pretty healthy, at least up to that point, but it seems as though he
Mhm.
was in pretty rough shape. This is the booking photo.
Yeah.
I mean, uncooperative indeed, you
Did
know.
he have a physical disability?
I'm not sure. We just don't know.
Okay.
There's
Or if this was just him trying to refuse the photo?
right, right, not sure. Yeah,
Hmm, okay.
not sure. So of course some people are concerned that there was some kind of police brutality here. Uh he was fighting, and skirmishing with the police. I suspect there wasn't, however. It seems as though the police were just trying to do their job with this guy, and he was pretty unhinged.
Mhm.
But at any rate,
Mm,
so there'll be no true justice for Wanda, and yet she won't have to go through the rest of her life worried that this could ever happen again either,
right.
because he is gone for good.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow.
Yeah. Interestingly, there was a obituary posted for him
Mhm.
that is just as normal as ever. The obituary says he died after a long illness, and Wanda's listed
Oh,
as one of his siblings. Just
just pretending
normal
like
as
none of
all
this
get
ever
out.
happened, huh? Gee,
Yeah.
when has that ever happened in an obituary before? Only
So,
ever
but their
so.
poor family has all of this to grapple with.
Yeah, that's a
They've
lot.
watched her lay in a coma for the last 2 years after she was horrifically attacked and nearly killed.
Mhm.
Then to find out that in fact it was Daniel who did it. Now Daniel has died. My God. So my heart
Yeah,
goes out to the Palmer family because I can only imagine,
absolutely.
yeah, how much heartache and stress and horror this entire situation has brought to them. But what a deal.
Mhm. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, yikes.
The idea of a coma patient waking up and fingering their assailant happens in the movies, not in real life. It's such an
Right.
extremely rare thing to happen.
Yeah.
And of course, he was only accused and charged. He was not tried, so we have to be clear about that. He was not
Mhm.
tried. He was not found guilty. We know is what Wanda has said coming up out of a coma.
Right.
It would have been interesting to see this case go to court if it did,
Mhm.
because would she have been found to be a credible witness or not,
Mhm.
considering her disability uh,
Wow.
at this point,
Mhm.
And
That's
I think very
crazy.
unlikely that she would have been able to appear in court. And so, anyway, it would have been just from you know, a an
The legal
interest in
stand.
the legal system,
Yeah,
standpoint to see how this proceeded through the courts, but of course now it will not.
yeah,
But at any rate, so our hearts go out to their family and especially to Wanda that she continues to improve and that she
yeah,
can pull together some kind of quality of life here.
yeah,
Interesting
absolutely.
stuff. Yeah. Well, I'm going to kick the mic back over to you for some good old Florida man.
Mhm. Ah, Florida Man. We usually think of Florida Man in relation to crimes committed. However, are you familiar with any of the Florida sheriffs? Because whoa, there's some there's some seriously crazy shit going on in Florida with
Mhm.
sheriffs, but I thought this one was particularly funny. So in Brevard County, that's Sheriff Wayne Ivy. He hosts a video called Wheel of Fugitive.
Oh.
And he spins a wheel that has photos of the top 10 counties most wanted. Uh,
This seems pretty
apparently,
brilliant.
yeah, apparently everybody watches it. Even the fugitives watch it to see who becomes fugitive of the week. And
No.
this is so funny. So then whoever wins fugitive
Mhm.
of the week, they get a little talking to by the sheriff. So in a recent episode, there was a 32-year-old white male accused of petty theft and failure to appear.
Oh.
Uh, and so Sheriff Ivy looks into the camera and says, urges him to surrender. Stop messing up and stop breaking the law. Get all of it behind you. It's like he's turned it into a game show in which you win jail time.
You also win some pretty silver bracelets,
True, true.
a
Possible
ri
anklets as well.
a ride in a limo, your
Yeah, yeah.
name in the news.
I mean, you were fugitive of the week. What an honor. So funny, but
And
clever,
who
.
wouldn't
It
want that on their resume, really? That goes
right,
on LinkedIn for sure.
for sure. Well,
That
and
is brilliant.
yeah, because it gets people watching it, and everyone's like,
Mhm.
"Oh shit, there's Steve." You're like, "Oh, you're calling up Steve. Listen, dude, you're fugitive of the week. Just go turn yourself in."
Oh, I
Uh,
love it. Now I gotta start watching Fugitive of the Week. That's my favorite thing
right?
now.
So clever. So I thought that was very much worth sharing.
So, do the fugitives, I wonder if they ever comment on these videos.
See, I think they must because he knows that they watch.
Mhm.
But we've seen that before
Mhm.
with like sheriff's offices, their Facebook pages.
Mhm. Mhm. A
Very
couple of
funny.
years ago, the Idaho Falls Police Department did this on Valentine's Day
Oh, right.
with a whole bunch of their Valentines. And
Mhm.
one guy started commenting and had quite the thread going back and forth with the sheriff's office.
It was so funny.
It's hilarious. Yeah. Interesting. Huh. Well, I think that's pretty clever and brilliant.
Right? Social media works for all kinds of stuff,
Yes, it
including
does.
catching fugitives.
Mhm. Even if you have to turn it into a game show, apparently.
Right?
I like it a lot.
Fugitive of the week. So funny.
Hey, maybe you get an extra scoop of mashed potatoes or something. You
Right?
should get something. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
You get 2 blankets on your bed, fugitive of the week.
Well, you'll start with one, but it depends on who your roommate is if you finish with one.
Well, right, right, right.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's our Monday episode. So we're going to be back tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday with new episodes. We'll be back
Mhm.
Wednesday night with case updates. We'll be back Thursday night with the psychic hour. That's what's going on. And it
Lots of
is,
great stuff coming.
we'll also have two Patreons this week. So watch for those as
Mhm.
well. Lots of stuff going on. We hope that you guys had a good weekend and a good start to your week.
Mhm.
Drink your water. Be kind to yourselves. You deserve it. And as always, this has been yet another production of the True Crime Squad. Take care.
Bye, everybody.